Anyway, once again, thank you guys so much for whatever support you show this channel. Likes, shares, comments, subscribes, leaving timestamps, donations, making purchases. Everything that you do to support me on my path helps me to be here in a more comfortable and better way to support you on yours. So thank you so much for giving back for the healing sessions that I bring to you guys. It really helps me out so much, and it helps you out in the long run as well. So, back to what we were talking about. Baby fat just came out. um, is there actually a, like, singer? It's called Baby Fat. Cat. Wait. Cab. Hi, Barshima. Nice to see you, beautiful. Yeah, people could definitely be talking about your imagination as well. People could be talking about how open-minded you are, how fair-minded you are. And people could also be saying that sometimes you come up with crazy things because you overthink a lot. But I also feel like some of those things are going to end up being proven true, even if people think that they're crazy in this moment. I've mentioned that to somebody recently because I was like, you know what? There are some people out there who probably think I'm a little bit crazy. But that's okay, because you know what? A lot of those things have already been proven true. And in the near future, there's going to be some things being proven true that, you know, yeah, any idea or thought that I might be crazy because of what I'm thinking about is going to go right out the window. So, let's see what else we have here for the gossip going on the collective at this time. Definitely be a sibling talking about you. There could be an ex-friend talking about you as well. There could be a lot of family energy here talking about you, or people talking about your family. We have Cancer, Cancer, and Cancer. And then we have Sagittarius. People could be talking about you being targeted, or possibly your family being targeted in some way. We have Leo, and we have Aries. People could be talking about your mother, your in-law, or your mother, or your mother-in-law could be talking about you. A brother could be talking about you. Q, D, Dairy Queen, DQ, B, J, U, Bud, Buds. We used to be best buddies, but now we're not. And I don't know why. I can't, yeah, the lyrics were wrong, but I don't care. We used to be best buddies, but now we're not. People could be talking about your relationship with your siblings and how you used to be best friends, but that has kind of fallen away and they really don't understand exactly what happened. B-Y, busybody. Somebody could be saying that you're a busybody. Somebody could be saying it's because of your gossip or your drama or your chaos that there is no relationship anymore. And honestly, I feel like there was something more to it. My little brother got extremely pissed off at me when we were down there this last time because I was talking about how my kids used to be really healthy. They used to get outside more. They used to do things that were good for them. They used to choose to eat healthy. They used to choose to exercise and be in the sunlight and the fresh air. They used to choose a lot of the good things for them. And now they pretty much choose to eat all kinds of junk food, sit in the house and watch TV and play games, and whatever else. And it did kind of start with when they first moved in with their grandma. She wouldn't let them go do anything at all because they were too little, which is fucking insane. And so now they just don't do anything. But my little brother, while I was talking about all of that stuff, and I was pretty angry about it, I was upset about it, so I was bitching about it. And my little brother started screaming at me because he was taking it as a projection onto him, because that's what he's doing in his life. And so he got pissed off and started screaming at me, and then my mom started defending him for some fucking unknown stupid ass reason because he's her only boy. And then I was like, you know what, fine, I'll just leave. And he ended up apologizing to me before we left, but yeah, our relationship hasn't been good for many years, and that just made it worse. FDQ. He has a tendency to breadcrumb and ghost people, especially when they're not around him. He explained at one point in time that when they aren't living around him, it just makes him miss them more if he's talking to them or some bullshit. But you know what? Makes me miss you more when I can't talk to you because you won't even fucking message me back or call me or fucking answer my calls or messages. Because you feel like I abandoned you. I didn't abandon you. You abandoned me. I just moved, which was healthy for me in some ways. So DQIVFEQPDW, quarter pounder. 5, wife. There could definitely be some talk about your diet or the way you choose to live your life, the things that you choose to do in your life. Some people may be claiming that you're judgmental. Some people may be claiming that you can't handle letting other people live their life or something. But I feel like a lot of these people are just projecting their own insecurities or their own problems with the way that they're living onto you, because they may actually be jealous of the strength that you have to be able to live the life you're living, or they may be just really upset because you're choosing to live that life and they aren't in some way. 5 Nights at Freddy is coming to mind. Family of 5. BYU. Somebody could be talking about a university or a college or something that you may be going to. Somebody may be talking about a school that's connected to religion as well. Justice. Judge Judy just came to mind. Feds. Bust. Buddy. We used to be best buddies, but now we're not. Can somebody tell me why? Do you want to build a snowman? Doesn't have to be a snowman. You know what? When I watched that movie, that song's not even 5 minutes into that fucking movie, and I was bawling like a baby through that whole fucking song. Probably because of, the way me and my younger siblings have been. And also probably because of the way my daughters have been over the last couple of years. Doesn't help any. People could be talking about the fights or the arguments going on in your life, the pride and the ego of you or the people around you. People could also be talking about the need to dive deeper. People could be saying something about somebody who's gone a little bit cold. People could also be talking about somebody standing out, the attention they're getting. People could feel like you in some way may have turned your back on those who love you because of the attention you're getting, when in honesty, I feel like these people turned their back on you the moment you started doing something good in your life for you. They walked away from you. And that's because they wanted to keep you in that lower state, because they felt like if you went any higher, you wouldn't be around them. So they felt like instead of being hurt deeper by continuing the connection, they just end the connection or something like that. And this was like your family that did this too. People may be talking about the reasons why you're so defensive as well. And it could have a lot to do with your family too. Justin. Queen Latifah. Face Off. Is that the name of that movie? No, that's the name of the movie with Nicolas Cage. What's the name of the movie with Queen Latifah where they do the bank robberies and shit? Can't remember the name of that movie. Life is crazy sometimes. Take a breath and relax. Go with the flow and know that you can handle anything that comes your way. Nothing that you have ever faced you haven't bounced back from. You got this. Sit back. Sit back and marvel at the strength and beauty that is you. Be proud of yourself and your progress. Look how far you have come. But you aren't finished yet. There is miles to go before you sleep. There's miles to go before we sleep. That is in some movie. Everything is playing out as it's meant to. You are on the right path and exactly where you are meant to be at this time. Miles to go before we sleep. So people are talking about the long life that you have in front of you as well. and how maybe you've been like putting the pedal to the metal. You've been working, you've been doing, you've been going that extra mile, but they're like, dude, there's a long ways to go. Pace yourself a bit. Plant the seeds and let go. You don't watch water boil, do you? Continuous care is needed, but it also takes time and patience. Don't watch the garden grow. Go live your life and check in regularly. Consistency is necessary, but so is not hovering over things. Interdependence is built on trust and respect as much as love. Codependency has love, but usually lacks trust, respect, or both. Be at peace. Don't worry about the outcome. Live now and prepare for tomorrow and any end result that could come. It could end horribly or it could work out beautifully. Stressing and overthinking never helps. So there could be people talking about as well. Somebody could be saying that you're having a hard time letting go of your kids or letting go of a situation, or maybe you moved away from your family or something like that, and you're having a hard time letting go of the connection you had and, embracing the new connection you have now that may be very different than the connection that you've had with them in the past. People may be talking about you being a helicopter parent for some of you as well. And you know what? Being a helicopter parent is just as bad as being a neglectful one. A nice, healthy balance is great, but that's not usually what you get. You usually get one or the other. You usually get either a helicopter parent or one that's never there. And sometimes the one that was never there wanted to be a helicopter parent but couldn't because they had other things going on. So people could definitely be talking about the stress that you're under or the constant overthinking that you're doing when it comes to your children or certain situations, and where you just need to learn how to let go a bit and how to live your life while still enjoying the connections that you have with people around you. Yeah, breaking those chains, cold days. SOS, need help, come quick. They actually came. So, people could also be talking about some of the toxicity of some of the connections that you have, or some of the bad things that have happened in some of the connections that you have, but also the good things that have happened in those connections. Because this is reminding me of the two people that, wow, they did some pretty fucked up things, but at the same time, when I was ranting one night by myself in the middle of the cold winter, and I was like, you keep telling me that I'm not alone, but you know what? I feel alone, and there's nobody here in the physical realm. Yeah, sure, there's plenty of people here in the fucking spiritual realm, but that's the spiritual realm. Why don't you fucking show me somebody that's here in the physical realm? Why don't you put somebody in front of me so I know I'm not alone? Kind of thing. So anyway, immediately, the guy I was seeing at the time called me. And then he came home a little bit later, and he pretty much didn't let me out of his sight for like 3 days. And another guy, a friend of mine, messaged me like right away when that was going on. And then he messaged me like periodically, very frequently over the next few days. Because it's like they knew something was wrong and something wasn't okay. We need to be there. They got that call and they listened to that call. 1355. So people could also be talking about how they know that if they call out to you, you will be there. Even if nobody else has ever been there for them in their lives, they know that you will be there if they reach out and make that call. But they also know that they got to limit themselves on how often they do that, because otherwise it could turn into a very toxic situation, and vice versa. People are talking about the transformation that you made. People may also be talking about you shopping more or going out more or having more money to spend in some sort of way. You are doing an amazing job. People may also be talking about a like party or a ceremony or something dedicated to you to recognize how much you've been doing, how amazing you've been doing, how much you've done for others. War-torn. People could definitely be talking about the abuse you've endured, the scars, the toxicity, the pain you've come from. Whether that be living in a war-torn area, whether that be going to war as a soldier, whether that be growing up in World War III. Growing up in World War III. Pink. Because you're fucking perfect to me, regardless. Somebody could be saying you're perfect to them, regardless of anything that you got going on, regardless of anything you've had going on, regardless of anything that has happened between you, regardless of the pain you've been through, regardless of the hurt you feel, regardless of the nasty things that people have filled your mind with. There is somebody out there that is saying it doesn't matter because you are perfect to them. 57. Money is coming my way every day, including today. Once again, people could be talking about your finances improving, how much more stability is coming into your life, how you have let go of a mindset of lack, and how you're just allowing things to flow. If you want to buy something, you're going to buy something. You're not going to worry about it anymore. You know that you'll have the money because that money's coming in. You've worked really hard for this. Peace. People are talking about the peace that you have been able to find with the monsters under your bed. It's the boogeyman. Boogie woogie woo. With your head smack dead in the hallway. Yeah, you have chosen to leave behind this war field, this battlefield that you've just tried. You've dropped your sword and you're done with this fight and you are moving forward. You're done focusing on the bullshit, the chaos, the drama, all the explosions, everything that's been going on that's crazy. You're done with it and you're out. I'm out. Who's coming with me? Who's coming with me? Which reminds me of Half-Baked. It probably reminds everybody else of that movie with Jerry Maguire. Is that the name of the movie? I think that's the name of the movie. Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't remind me of that movie because I've never really watched that movie a whole lot. I think I saw it once. Yes, you can, sweetheart. You are more than welcome to ask a question today. So people are definitely talking about the amazing job that you are doing, leaving behind the past, leaving behind the bullshit. Some of you may have actually even lost a house. You may have ended up having like a fire in your house or an explosion. And some of you, that could just be metaphorical. There could have been like just a massive falling out within your family or within your friendship group or something along those lines. And that could be what people are discussing at this time, is how well you're doing after everything has fallen apart in your life, and now you're picking up all the pieces and you're rebuilding a whole new life, and everything's really coming together for you. Lakshmi just came to mind as well. That's a feminine goddess, I want to say in Indian cultures, but I'm not completely sure. I've read about her a little bit, but I haven't gone as in-depth on her as some of the other ones. Sekhmet is coming to mind right now too. Sekhmet, it's so funny. Depending on who you ask, Sekhmet could be like the most evil demon there ever was, and then the most beautiful goddess there ever was. Depending on who you ask, or depending the perspective they're looking at it in. Because, you know, the old gods and goddesses, they were just like humans. They had both light and dark within them. And if you ask me, honestly, the devil is God's shadow side. Even going by that book. Because, I mean, you talk about he's a jealous God, he's a possessive God. Really? But I thought that wasn't love. Not to mention, that's also why we fell into that toxic love scenario for the last 3,000 years. Where we were with toxic, controlling, possessive, manipulative men who wanted us to bow down at their feet and only their feet. Otherwise, they were going to destroy us. Yeah, that sounds very familiar. That sounds like the God that we worshipped for the last 3,500 years. So, I will answer that here in just a second, sweetheart. Capricorn, Taurus, trustworthy, Libra, Taurus again. People could be talking about how trustworthy you are, especially with their secrets. Got a secret, can you keep it? Swear this one you'll save. Better lock it in your pocket, taking this one to the grave. If I told you, then I know you won't tell what I've said. 'Cause two can keep a secret if one of them is dead. So, people could definitely be talking about how trustworthy you are. People also feel like you are not going to be building a case against them in some way or going to the law behind their back. That could be part of it too. People also can trust you to talk to you about their addictions or their toxicity or the things that hold them back or chain them down or the harsh circumstances they've been through, their abuse or things like that. People feel like you're very solid, trustworthy, stable, stubborn. Some people may be saying that you're very stubborn or indecisive. Some people may even be discussing addictions that you have in some way. 44. People also are talking about, they can tell that you're somebody very trustworthy and very favored because of the way that karma always seems to fall in your favor. Salt Lake. S-A-Z-K. Zach. L. Last. The last of your kind. X. L-A-X. Y. W. There could be an airport of some kind as well. If somebody's getting ready to take a trip. WMA. WrestleMania. MML. Mall. Let's go to the mall today. What's funny is that's the song I was trying to think of a couple weeks ago and I couldn't even think of that song. It comes from How I Met Your Mother. People could actually be talking about the way that your father met your mother or the way that you met your child's father or your child's mother. Lazy. There's a song by Bruno Mars called Lazy that just popped in my mind. Lazy day. People may be saying that you could really use a lazy day because there has been a lot of talk as well about how hard you work and how fast you're going, how quick your pace is, and how you could just pace yourself a little bit because there's a long ways to go, miles to go before we sleep. Wham, whammy. Somebody could be talking about Guitar Hero as well. Sammy. Saw. The movie Saw just popped into my mind. Walk. A Walk in the Clouds. That was a great movie. I love that movie. If there has been some sort of fake proposal or fake relationship that was used to make people accept a certain situation or a pregnancy or something like that, people could be talking about that too. People may also be talking about a marriage happening because of a pregnancy in some way. Ma and Pa. Callie. Kelly. Sally. And Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas was just popping into my head. Sad and morose. Lonely person. Somebody could be saying that you were just like a sad, lonely person that really had nothing going on until your partner came into your life. But honestly, I feel like these are people that are a little bit bitter from your past. There could definitely be somebody that's a little bit bitter from your past, especially if this person had problems with the word no or with dealing with rejection. So, skiing could be something as well. Salty. Yeah, somebody from the past is definitely salty. So, we are going to answer your question really quick, Leia. So, how does your person feel about you? How do they feel about you? Reveal what is within. Get out in nature to rest and heal. Clear your mind and remember what's real. Own your past. Look in the mirror. At long last, meet the seer. Leave behind shame, guilt, and fear. Kick your mind into gear. Prophets were known as seers once too. Time to look at you anew. No more self-hate or despair. Hand up your worries to those who care. Your inner wisdom is so bright. Time to get in touch with your inner night. 3:15:12. So this person might actually feel like you in some way think that you are evil because of your gifts, and so you do not embrace or use your gifts as fully as you could, because you in some way feel like it's kind of like hold on. We don't talk about Bruno. It's kind of like that. Instead of applauding his gifts and loving his gifts, everybody demonized and hated his gifts, like he was the one creating the things that were coming simply because he knew what was coming. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly. You really think you're in control? Ha ha ha. Bless your soul. This is the end of your villain road. You are now in the right energy to take the high road. This wasn't the place for the better man or better woman. This wasn't the place for the hero. This was the place for a human being who knows and accepts that they have both light and shadow within them, and so does everyone else around them. So you could have went through a lot of darkness, and you could have stepped into your villain era. You could have stepped into your darkness a lot. And now you are having to face that mirror and look at those things and realize those things. And the reason that you had to go through those things and experience those things was so that you could lose a lot of the judgment that you may have had for other people in their darkness. You learned others did first, and it left you broken. You learned others had that villain side first, and it left you broken, battered and bruised. And then while you were broken, you left others like that too. You are now ready to accept, be, and love every part of you and every part of others. It's time for a level up and a glow up. Self-acceptance and love leads to acceptance and love of those around you. You are creating good relationships for you. Yes, I mean psychic gifts. So, this person also knows that you are very accepting of them as a human being. That you do not see them as a perfect paragon of good. You're not placing them on a pedestal. You're not placing yourself on a pedestal. You're not busy judging people on a regular basis, and you are not busy judging them. You have been through darkness. Other people's darkness that they've brought to your doorstep, but also your own darkness that you have brought to other people's doorstep. And you know and accept this. You truly know and accept what the statement hurt people means, because you have accepted how you have hurt people when you were in your hurt state. I am so proud of you and all that you do. You have accomplished so much with very little support. It is okay to ask and be open to receive help. Talk to us because we are here for you. We all love you so much. I can't wait to see the legacy that you will leave behind. It is already so great, but it has a long way to go still. You got this. We are here with you. Feel our strength and our support. So this person wants you to know that they are behind you 110%. That could be a lot of what that poem initially was talking about too. Take some time to go out in nature and to just find your peace and listen to your intuition and trust in it, because your intuition already knows this. Your intuition knows that this person is behind you 110%, that this person sees you as an amazing human being. Somebody who has both light and dark within you. They are not placing you on a pedestal any more than you're placing them on one. And they are not placing you beneath them any more than you're placing them beneath you. This person really does see you as an amazing person. Very independent, strong, self-confident, courageous. And they also see that in the past, you may have judged certain people for the darkness that they had within them. But you had to go on this journey yourself. And when you opened your eyes and realized the people that you were hurting around you, You had to go on the journey to find your light again too, and to fill yourself up with that love. So that judgment that you once held for others, for the darkness that they had within them, has dissipated. Time to ground. Seek the lesson. This person feels like it is time to ground this connection, to create something solid out of it. They are also feeling like there is lessons to be learned within this connection, that they're learning a lot about their heart. They also may be feeling like they have hurt you in some sort of way as well, and they would like to find a way to atone for that, but they know that they have to learn this lesson before they can make that gesture. They may be feeling like at this time it is time. It has been time. I feel like it's like you guys have been going on your own in some way, but they're feeling like it's time to close the door on the past and it's time for this new beginning now. Time to ground this connection. Time to make something real out of it in some way. They're definitely ready to acknowledge things that have happened, ready to talk about them, ready to expose them, and ready to recognize you for the friendship that you have given this situation, for the fun that you've brought into their life as well. They feel like it is time for justice to come in this situation. Yeah. This person may have definitely hurt you with some of their darkness. There could have even been a third-party situation in some way. I feel like you've been extremely patient, compassionate, understanding. You've just been waiting for this person to come forward and express the truth in some way. And this person's ready to recognize you, ready to recognize success, ready to build and grow with you. They feel like you would be somebody good to collaborate with, somebody to grow with, somebody to build with. They may also see you as somebody who's very intelligent and somebody who's quite capable of having a lot of fun as well. There is justice getting ready to come in for certain people who have been trying to screw with the situation. Third parties aren't always necessarily cheating as well. It could also be other people getting involved, or other people in their ear or something along those lines, or in your ear, people trying to tear things apart in some sort of way. But whatever it is, there's justice getting ready to come in for this, and karma is ready to take place. They feel like they are standing in two worlds in some way as well. There was an emergency alert that just came up. So yeah. This person may even feel a little bit on edge because maybe they have found out about some of these things that maybe you've spoke about before that are happening. And now they're kind of ready to expose some of those things as well. There's a lot of success getting ready to come into your life for the lessons you've learned and the growth you've made. You're very welcome, sweetheart. Thank you too. And once again, thank you to anybody that supports this channel, whatever way you may do that. Liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, leaving timestamps, donations, hitting the little super thanks button. Everything that you guys do to support this channel really helps me out so much, you guys. And if you guys wanted to be able to make a purchase, all you got to do is send your payment through Cash App or PayPal, which is in the box below. And then throw your comment in the comments below, and I will answer your question. And if you guys don't catch me on the live, I do have services that I offer as well, and you can find the prices and descriptions in the description box below, where to contact me, all that kind of good stuff. Make sure you set it up before you send payment on those ones though. Thank you, beautiful. I appreciate it. So, let your emotions flow. Trust in magic. Nurture all that you love. and show that you care. People know when they come into contact with you and a connection with you that each thing that they do for you or with you is going to be recognized, is going to be seen, noticed, appreciated. You're very authentic and you're very emotional and you are unashamed of those emotions. People feel extremely comfortable around you in expressing their emotions because you are somebody who can express your emotions and there's no shame, there's no guilt, there's no blame, there's no nothing like that. You are very comfortable in your emotions and you're very comfortable with others being in their emotions. People are also discussing how much you nurture what you love, how much you care for what you love. You have a lot of wisdom within you and you know what's most important to you. You are definitely somebody who stands out. You are very much a leader that a lot of people feel inspired to follow. They watch how much you care, how much you show your care to even the most base of beasts that others would turn away from in fear. It's kind of like that whole, our prison system doesn't rehabilitate a single fucking person. Honestly, it makes them 1,000 times worse. Other countries have figured that out and have started doing other things. But this country has not figured it out yet. We used to be the most forward-moving country on the planet. There are so many countries surpassing us in so many areas because we refuse to move forward. And that's probably a lot to do with the fact that we got 85-year-old people running our fucking country. What's funny is it's a democracy and we all vote. Yeah, sure. I'm sure everybody in this country is voting for nothing to ever change again and for all the 85-year-olds to stay in power. Yeah. Especially considering how much I've heard people talk about how much they love that. So anyway, people are also discussing your unconditional love. They're discussing the way that you have chosen to do things differently as well. Once again, with that whole, they can trust you not to turn them in. They can trust you to talk to you about their secrets, about the things that they've done, or the things that the people they've been, the places they've been. There may be people who actually come to you and talk to you about things they've done in the past before they pass away to find that peace, that kind of thing. But also because they would like to be a different person than what they are. They would like to heal. They'd like to know what's wrong with them. They'd like to rehabilitate themselves. And you may be somebody who may be very good at that in some way. Are you going to help them or are you going to hinder them? It's a lot of power and a lot of responsibility. But don't take your mistakes too hard. People are also talking about how at times, even when you've shown your love, even when you've shown your care, even when you've nurtured things, even when you've done nothing wrong in any way, things have still fallen apart in certain situations. And that may have been very hard for you. Some people could also be talking about maybe the childhood you had or the home that you came from as well. The thing that's coming to mind right now is Mother Gothel from Rapunzel. People could be talking about people who wanted to take your power, use your gifts, exploit you in some way. But how you have been able to rebuild your foundation, how you've been able to connect to people that are very like-minded and very similar to you, how you've been able to make friends again. And people could also be talking about the indecision you made and being able to walk away from certain things that have fallen apart and walk through new open doors. Or possibly people could be discussing as well the indecision that you're currently facing when it comes to picking a partner in your life or picking a love connection in your life. And this could be part of that whole, finding out what it's like to be in the villain side. And that way you're a little less judgmental of the other people who have been villains in your life. And that is what healing is all about. If we are judgmental about something, God and our goddess are going to place us in their fucking shoes. They're going to place us in their shoes so we can see things from their perspective. And it may be a whole new world on that side of it. And so people could be talking about how you're seeing that new world. A whole new world. A new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming. You may very much so support people in their dreams or beliefs too. To be happy and grateful without owning anything is refreshing. This refreshing reset has occurred. So find your happiness, gratitude, and peace, and find your way back out of this rabbit hole. When material aspects do not rule you anymore, you will be ready. And that doesn't mean you don't enjoy them. That just means they don't rule you or rule your emotions. 2 crowns per throne. Who can stand tall through it all? Who deserves to win this crown? The king of crazy town. Boring is not the word for my life. At times there's a lot of chaos and strife. An emotional roller coaster as exciting as an action movie poster. Extreme lows and extreme highs too. I healed my wings and I flew. No more box for me. I am ready to fly free. Who's coming with me? Your will is free. So, 4/24/22. That could be a lot of the reason you're undecided on the person in your life at this point, because you don't know which person's actually going to be able to be there throughout your life. Your life may be very crazy. There may be a lot of drama in it. There may be a lot of chaos in it. It may not be something that's just peaceful and boring and tucked away from the rest of human life. And it's not something you want either. You don't want to stay stuck in a comfort zone forever. You want to explore life. You want to explore people. You want to do new things. You want to, accomplish new things. You may even have a lot of people who lash out at you because of their anger or things like that. You may work with a lot of people, like I said before, that other people would have turned away from in fear or ran away from. There may be a lot of situations that cause some paranoia, or there may be a lot of situations where you have had to deal with, it's kind of like, say you're a therapist or something, and you're a therapist that works with a lot of like criminals or something along those lines, or a lot of super mentally ill people. And so at any point there are able to deal with that. You need somebody who's going to be strong enough to be able to deal with the fact that you're not just person, that you're going to be out there talking to people, interacting with people, communicating with people, networking with people, and not just people of the same sex, but people of the opposite sex, because you're going to be treating everyone equally. You're not going to be like, oh, I'm in a relationship, so I can't ever talk to somebody of the opposite sex again. Hell no. That's not for you. Being trapped in that life is not for you. You want your freedom, and you want to give others their freedom. And at the same time, you want a situation that you can trust in that. A situation that's strong, a situation that's sturdy and stable. And there's nothing wrong with taking your time to decide whether or not this connection is that, or that connection is that, or meeting people, or really checking out your options. And not having people be jealous or crazy or possessive or manipulative or controlling along the way. And vice versa, you're going to give them the same freedom too. Even if at one point in the past you may not have, because once again, with that being on the villain side, you are learning more how to stay out of that judgment of others for that. Nourish the soul. Be patient. Challenge your perspective or perception. So, people are talking about how you are being patient with yourself, you're being patient with others. People are talking about how you have a tendency to challenge your perspectives. 44 and 404. Some people may get an error code when they have to deal with something like that. You are not somebody who is going to be so stuck to one way that they aren't able to allow in new. And vice versa. That's the people that you want to surround yourself with. You are very much a leader, and you lead through your action. You're patient, kind, beautiful. You nourish the souls of the people that you come into contact with. When they come into your life, it's like they get to take a drink from the cup of life. It's like they get to take a drink from the eternal spring and fountain of youth. 4444. You nourish people, you love people, you care for people. You are a diamond in the rough. Only one may enter here. The one they call the diamond in the rough. That's what that guy reminds me of every time, is Aladdin. The king of stakes. You're someone who knows what you want, and you're unashamed to take the actions that you need to take to make things happen. And if somebody gets hurt along the way, you're like, I am sorry that you got hurt, but I'm not sorry that I took the actions that I took, because the actions that I took were necessary to make things happen. You're somebody who's very good at multitasking and handling many different things at once. You can have whatever you like. You can have whatever you like. Some people may be very non-understanding about the types of people that you date or go after, because they're like, you could have whatever you like. Why the fuck are you playing around in this? Some people could be confused about the career path that you've chosen, because they're like, why? You could be so much more, but you're like, I have other things that I'm focused on that are a main priority in my life, and having something that is not as focus needing for my work is something that is very beneficial in doing what I want to be doing. People could also be talking about the sacrifices that you've made for the fight that you choose to fight every day, for the good that you choose to do in this world. People could also be talking about how you protect, fight for, and defend the ones that you love as well. So that's pretty much what I got for today's reading, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you for all the support you send this way again. If anybody is looking to donate today, that would be so awesomely appreciated, especially today. It would be really nice to be able to have a little bit extra for this weekend, so I don't got to worry about that. I haven't seen somebody since February, and we're going to get to spend a little time together this weekend, but I'm not sure how much time we're going to get. It'd be kind of nice to be able to focus fully on that and not have to worry about whether or not I'm going to be able to eat this weekend or something. So that would be awesome. Thank you guys so much for anything that you do, whether it be that or purchasing services or liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, which really helps my channel to grow, and it helps to spread these messages to other people who may need to hear them as well. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. Bye-bye, guys.